Hey guys, it's Ross Cotton on the Space Catch site. I want to share with you something I've been looking for ages and have finally found again. My Babylon 5 comic collection. Look at that. 175. That's how old they are. From, must be 20 odd years, I expect. So here is issue 1. It was the dawn of the third age of mankind. Love those opening titles and the narration in each of the 5 seasons of Babylon 5 and how it evolved, becoming more martial and downbeat, and then very uplifting in the final season, of course. So yes, there's Jeffrey Sinclair. There's some Earth Force fighters. There is, of course, the station itself. On the back, it's just an advert for something. So that's issue 1. Issue 2, as I recall, picked up with Sinclair on the Minbari homeworld as the first Earth ambassador. We see here, obviously, Delenn. She has come out of her cocoon at that point. Here are other Minbari, various castes, probably the religious. Again, there is the station. Issue 3. Inside a Killer's Mind. So that's Talia Winters, the telepath. I think she was a P5. Well, Talia Winters was a P5. And there is, I assume, either the victim or the perpetrator. And she's there's all the bodies there. Through a so you see in a starship everyone inside is dead. She's to find out what happened. I'm sure she did. Next, Sinclair's obviously ended up on trial for daring to be a human ambassador on Minbar. Obviously they were trying to fit him up for something. So here we see the various cast members. I did love the bone sculpts of all of the different Minbaris because they carved their bone sculpts or encourage them to grow very naturally like this with the warrior cast, whereas you think of Delenn and Lanier's head sculpt, and that was much more decorative, being carved. I really liked Delenn's. It was just beautiful, the way it wrapped around the back of her head. So there we see everyone else. There's a line, I'm forgetting which of these early ones, but it's about the Sinclair storyline. It's like, sometimes all it takes is a single action to change the course of humanity's future. Or something like that. I'm not sure if that's the exact words. Now, I absolutely loved the Shadow Vessels. What is the title of this one? Shadows Past and Present. There's Garibaldi, because obviously when he was doing security on Mars back in the day, that is when you see in that episode, the one that has Samantha Carter from Stargate, I forget, Amanda Tapping in it, who was the archaeologists, one of the archaeologists on Mars, when another ship comes and digs out the one that they're trying to excavate. So yes, there he is. The design of those shadow vessels, just incredible. It still sends shivers up my spine now. I guess this is some more backstory for Sinclair and Garibaldi on alien soil. No, that's some hellhole planet. That is issue 6. I've got 11 issues. I think that was all of them, I'm not sure. Now, 7 and 8 are in here. So this is, what was it? Survival the Hard Way. Yes, I think it goes into, you know how there's that episode where Garibaldi says he found a Psychor badge that was melted at the site of the excavation. That's like the only thing that was left. I think this is what that is all about. So that looks like they're on Mars, him and Sinclair. Let's see, issue 8 that's just in there. This is the conclusion of the Shadows Past and Present arc. There is a shadow vessel. Yeah, really scary. You do not want to see that hovering above your city. But yes, they were great in battle. Some of the action sequences they had were just amazing. Like that one ship that goes up against the non-cruiser in the first episode of season 2, where it just pulses out all of the little mini fighters, just put it and just sliced it into pieces. They were very, very good at what they do. Yes, indeed. Now, just a little bit of paper in there. I'll just take that out. Recall on this one, the cover, they did it in the graphics that they were using in the show. So you can see, obviously, it is actual graphic animation rather than a drawing. At the time it was cutting edge, you know, and it just looked absolutely incredible. It does look a little bit dated now, but the designs are just so amazing and completely unique. Now, Jakar, one of the great characters of television, not just of Babylon 5 or science fiction, him and Londo Malari. Mind you, everyone got some fantastic lines, I think, even Zack the security guard. So yes, this is Deadly Refuge. So this will be, oh, who knows, this could be Grey 17 again, and they're stuck on there with, that looks like feeders, doesn't it? What was it, Londo says, feeders to the left of me, fools to the right. And I was just begging for someone to say, here I am stuck in the middle with you. And finally, we have special issue brought to you by Psy-Corps. Trust the Corps. The Psy-Corps is your friend. The Corps' mother, the Corps' father. Yes, indeed. That was another... him. He was just brilliant. Walter Koenig as Alfred Bester. I can't remember if I've shown you all of my Babylon 5 books or any of them, but I've got most of the novels that came out, including the Bester trilogy, which was fantastic, by the way. As of course was the Centauri trilogy with Londo as Emperor. Brilliant stuff. So yes, that is my Babylon 5 comic collection. Do let me know if you'd like me to do reviews on those individually or not. Don't know how long that would take. Mind you, single issue volumes, they will probably be short videos each, so I don't know. But yes, do let me know if you'd like me to go into more depth on Babylon 5. It was the best TV show that had been on to that point. It's really only been... it was the start, really, of the great sci-fi era of TV that we're still in, because obviously there was Farscape, there was Lex, there was Battlestar Galactica, the various Star Treks that were going on, and now there's so many of them, you know, like Dark Matter, Killjoys, Inhumans, and all of the genre shows that are on there now. You know, and Firefly was another great one. Of course, how can I not mention Firefly? But yes, Babylon 5 started it all off, and without Babylon 5 we wouldn't have had Battlestar Galactica and Game of Thrones, because it was really the first one that set up that like multi-year arc where everything built to something each point, and that was part of a larger whole as well. B5 was really the first show that attempted that, and that pulled it off pretty much successfully. Obviously its fifth season was a bit hit and miss because they weren't sure they were going to get it, so they kind of finished the story in season 4. Then when they got season 5, they're then able to expand on the the Intergalactic Alliance? The Interstellar Alliance, I think it is, isn't it? That he sets up at the end of season 4 and is president. So yes, there we go. Just a little bit of Babylon 5 for you. Please subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this content. Leave me a comment suggestion for what topic you'd like to see discussed, or like the video.